God, I am super drunk. I I have some proper 12 here. And I also had a lot of Svedka vodka. I'm drunk as fuck. But I'm going to break down the UFC 318 card. It was 318, right? I'm mad at a lot of shit, but I'm also happy at a lot of shit. We're gonna go through this card. Listen, none of my videos are monetized, so I don't give a fuck about uh, getting them demonetized for cursing. So I'm super drunk, super drunk. I'm gonna be sick tomorrow, and I'm going to break down the card that I just watched. I'm mad at a lot of stuff, but I'm happy at a lot of stuff. We'll go through it. Carly Judice versus Nicola Cagliari. I picked Cagliari. She lost by TKO. Carly Judice, you're a really good striker. She's a really good striker for women's MMA. You know what? I'm gonna take another sip of this. 40% whiskey from Conor McGregor. Oh man, Carly Judice won. She's really good. She's really good. She beat Cagliari. She finished her with a. She threw two knees in the fight, setting up for the third knee that knocked out Cagliari. It was beautiful. I was wrong about this prediction. I took Cagliari, but it is what it is. Carly Judice outstruck her. She's too quick, too good of a striker. I got this one wrong. Good for Carly Judice. Nasty body knee TKO. All right, we're moving on to the next fight. Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. This one made me really sad because Jackson McVeigh, I believe he would have beaten my camera. I believe Jackson. Oh no, that's too down. I believe Jackson McVeigh was gonna beat both of his original opponents. I 100% I thought he was gonna beat Cedric Dumas, and he was gonna beat God, what's that dude's name? Chris Ewart. But I chose Bruno Ferreira here because oh my god. Let's be real here. Bruno Ferreira is a proven UFC fighter. He literally knocked out what's dude's name? RoboCop. He knocked out RoboCop, and then he beat some other guys like Dustin Stoltzfus. He lost to it don't even matter. This was Jackson McVeigh's debut, and they put him up against an absolute killer and proven fighter of the division. I think Jackson McVeigh should get another opportunity at the title. Just my opinion. What? Not another shot at the title. Another shot in the UFC. He should get another shot in the UFC. Because he was supposed to fight two absolute bums for his UFC debut. And then they both pulled out because they're bitches. Or Chris Ewart didn't pull out. He just didn't make weight, so the fight was canceled and he was released. But regardless, Jackson McVeigh didn't get to fight the two original opponents that he 100% would have beaten. So they matched him up against Bruno Ferreira, which I thought was retarded in the first place. But he took it anyway because Jackson McVeigh is a savage. And he lost by round one submission. He should get another opportunity in the UFC. They should not cut him after this. Not a good win for Bruno Ferreira. Jackson McVeigh is a debutant who hasn't really proven himself. It's a win nonetheless for Bruno Ferreira. Whatever. Moving on. I love Jackson McVeigh, though. I love Bruno Ferreira, too. Moving on to Ryan Spann versus Lucas Bresky. I chose Ryan Spann here, but I wasn't confident at all because Ryan Spann is dog shit. He didn't look too bad here, though, to be fair. Lucas Brzeski's awful. Lucas Brzeski should never fight in the UFC again, but he probably will. Ryan Spann, congratulations. I did pick you, but I wasn't confident. He didn't look too good early on. Neither of them looked too good early on. Ryan Spann should be ridiculed for failing a completely locked in arm triangle that was so locked in, and he failed it. And then I'm going to regret uploading this video because I look like a fucking retard because I'm so drunk. Ryan Spann failed an arm triangle that was given to him, but then he got a guillotine. Beautiful guillotine it was. Ryan Spann has a lot of guillotines in his career. It is what it is. Lucas Brzeski should never fight again in the UFC, and Ryan Spann is probably going to lose his next fight. That's what it is. Moving on. Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. I called this correctly. I said that Jimmy Crute would get a submission. He got a submission. Marcin Prachnio is not good. It just is what it is. Jimmy Crute's not even good. I said that Jimmy Crute would get a submission. He got a submission. Congratulations, Jimmy Crute. The fight wasn't nothing too crazy. They were just kind of, the fight wasn't nothing too crazy until the submission. He got the submission at 4 minutes and 42 seconds into the fight. Not 4 minutes and 42 seconds left in the fight. So the round was almost over, and he finished him with a submission. Congratulations, Jimmy Crute. You'll lose your next fight. Marcin Prachnio, you'll lose your next fight. It is what it is. Moving on. Adam Fugier versus Islam Dulatov. I said that Islam Dulatov would get a finish, I think. I think he would get a knockout. He got a knockout in round 1. Islam Dulatov is really good, and he'll probably be a decent contender in the welterweight division in the future. I don't know. I need to see a bit more from him inside the UFC to really make a decision on where I think his career will go. Adam Fugier, we probably won't see too much from him from this point on, because he's older, I think. How old is he? Does this say his age? It doesn't. So Adam Fugier might not never get a win again in the UFC. Islam Dulatov will probably do pretty well in the welterweight division, but he doesn't become champion. Good win here for Islam Dulatov in his debut. Adam Fugier is a really durable guy. He's been durable throughout his entire career. Even took Michael Morales? Yeah, Michael Morales into a third round, where, to be fair, Michael Morales did finish him, but he took him to a third round. So Islam Dulatov got him out of there in 1 round. So I'm excited to see where he goes. He's good. He's really good. He is. Moving on to the prelims. Ateba Gutierrez. Oh my God. So many fights on this card pissed me off, and this is one of them. Robert Valentin. I didn't know who he was when he first got into the UFC. I had to go back and watch his fights. But a lot of people were saying he's like a Yuri Prochazka of the middleweight division. He fights like Yuri Prochazka. He's like Yuri Prochazka. Oh, this fight pissed me off because Robert Valentin, Ateba Gutierrez came in and wrecked his shit immediately. The fight is 1 minute and 10 seconds long. Robert Valentin showed nothing. He didn't even at the very least show a warrior spirit. The second Ateba Gutierrez landed, Robert Valentin was fucking what's the word? Blocking against the cage like this, and Robert Valentin, he gave up. He gave up. The second that Ateba Gutierrez landed any shot at all, Robert Valentin gave up, and it pissed me off. Because where's the warrior spirit to at least not get finished? If you're not fighting to win, and you aren't even... And this fight didn't even piss me off the most. I'll get to what fight pissed me off the most. Robert Valentin sucks, and he has no warrior spirit. Congratulations, Ateba Gutierrez. Congratulations, Ateba Gutierrez. You knocked out a guy that didn't want to be in there. Moving on. Francisco Prado versus Nicolay. I can't say that last name. I was already a little bit drunk when this fight happened. I thought that Francisco Prado won, but they gave it to Nicolay. It is what it is. I got this wrong. I predicted Francisco Prado. My bad. The fight was pretty good, though. Francisco Prado was winning at the end of the third round. He was looking pretty good, but he lost. So, it is what it is. Wait, I was going to say moving on, but I should probably say more about this fight. Francisco Prado. I don't know. Moving on. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen won, as I and everybody else predicted. Marvin Vettori sucks. Rest in peace, his brother. That is a sad story, and I did want Marvin Vettori to win, but Marvin Vettori sucks, and he has sucked since his debut. The only reason, in my opinion, the only reason he has had as much success as he has is because of his chin. Marvin Vettori can't strike, and he really can't grapple too well. And the middleweight division has always been a division where people that suck ass can succeed. So, I don't really have to say too much about that. But Brendan Allen won. I give Brendan Allen all 3 rounds. Brendan Allen isn't too good either. And he'll probably... and before knowing his next fight, he'll also probably lose his next fight. I think both of these guys will lose their next fight without knowing who the opponents are. Just because I don't really think that either of these guys are that good. But good win for Brendan Allen, I guess. This might be the highest ranked guy he's ever beaten. Brendan Allen is whatever. These guys aren't too good. Good win for Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen kind of outclassed him, to be honest with you. Let's see. Look at the stats: 115 strikes, 119, 0 takedowns, so 3 takedowns. Rev? What the fuck is Rev? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but I'm gonna puke. What the fuck is Rev? Rev? Are you fucking kidding me? I think I'm just drunk. I think if I was sober, I would know what that is. Good win for Brendan Allen. I don't like either of these guys. Moving on. Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. This fight pissed me off because if you guys seen my YouTube shorts, I did a props betting thing. I said that Kyler Phillips would land like 2 takedowns, and he didn't even fucking land one. Kyler Phillips is a fucking retard, and he doesn't know when to shoot. Vinicius Oliveira, congratulations. You're 1, 2, 3-0. No, 4-0 in the UFC. Sopai, Simone, Saeed, and now Kyler Phillips. 4-0 in the UFC. Vinicius Oliveira is a very fun fighter to watch. Kyler Phillips is just going to continue to lose if he fights like that because he's a fucking retard. Vinicius Oliveira, congratulations. Kyler Phillips gets hurt on the feet and doesn't shoot a takedown. It is what it is. Moving on to the main card, right? Yeah. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. This fight really pissed me off. Because Daniel Zellhuber... How old is Daniel Zellhuber? Doesn't say. Daniel Zellhuber, you should not be losing to Michael Johnson at this stage in your careers. Daniel Zellhuber Michael Johnson is old, and yes, he still has fast hands, but he just isn't that good anymore. Daniel Zellhuber losing this fight means that he'll never fucking be anything in this lightweight division. I'm just going to say it. Daniel Zellhuber, you're an embarrassment. And Michael Johnson, congratulations for beating an up-and-comer who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. This fight really did piss me off. Oh my god, my mic is pissing me off. Congratulations, Michael Johnson. I think this fight was more of Daniel Zellhuber being dog shit rather than Michael Johnson showing that Unk has still got it. Unk does not still have it, in my opinion, with Michael Johnson. Daniel Zellhuber just doesn't fucking know how to fight. I was really high on Daniel Zellhuber before and after his fight against this guy's name that I can always remember when I'm not recording, but every time I'm recording, I forget his name. And I'm actually pissed off that I forget it, so I'm going to look it up. Esteban Ribovics. That is apparently such a hard name to remember when I'm recording. But when I'm not recording, his name comes straight to my mind. I thought I had high hopes for Daniel Zellhuber before and after his fight against Esteban Ribovics. But now losing to Michael Johnson, I don't believe in you as a fighter anymore. Moving on. This fight pissed me off more than any other fight on this card. Let me just yap here for a second. And let me put into perspective how insane of a fight this was. Dan Ige TKO'd a very impressive surging contender in Sean Woodson in his last fight. And Patricio Pitbull in his last fight got absolutely dominated and lost every round and got dropped by Yair Rodriguez. My computer turned off. That's probably why my camera went dark. Patricio Pitbull lost every round and got dropped with hands by Yair Rodriguez. Dan Ige couldn't even drop Patricio Pitbull with his hands. Dan Ige has a history of heavy hands. Yair Rodriguez has a history of bitch boy hands. Yair dropped Pitbull. Dan Ige couldn't. Dan Ige, in my opinion, should have won this fight 1,000%. And the fact that he didn't shows that he has one less chromosome than we thought. This fight pissed me off because I think Dan Ige is a lot better than Patricio Pitbull. Dan Ige just fights like a retard. And Patricio Pitbull took over the fight because Dan Ige doesn't have a brain. It just is what it is. This fight really pissed me off. Because honestly, if I'm being honest, there is absolutely no reason why Dan Ige shouldn't have knocked out Patricio Pitbull. Regardless of how the fight went, there's no reason why Dan Ige shouldn't have knocked his bitch ass out. I'm just going to be honest. Neither of these guys go anywhere in the division from this point forward. Moving on. Oh my god, this fight pissed me off so much. There's no reason why Kevin Holland should have lost to Daniel Rodriguez. Oh my god, dude. Kevin Holland, Jack Della Maddalena, the current champion of this division, the best hands in this division, couldn't do jack shit in terms of damage to Kevin Holland. They had a 3-round fight where Jack Della Maddalena beat him, but neither of them got hurt. Daniel Rodriguez, his old ass, comes in with his dog shit boxing fundamentals, drops Kevin Holland twice, and like hurts him on several other occasions. Oh my god. Oh. And Kevin Holland just didn't fucking have anything to show for it. Kevin Holland is still a better striker, in my opinion. I can't tell you what happened in this matchup and as to why Daniel Rodriguez won. I would pick Kevin Holland in a rematch of this just because I think Kevin Holland is better, and I still don't understand how he lost this fight. Because Daniel Rodriguez, like, at this point in his career, like, really isn't that good. And I still think Kevin Holland is pretty good if he fucking cares. I don't know if he didn't care for this or if he just didn't believe that Daniel Rodriguez hit hard. But I don't know. This fight really pissed me off because I feel like Kevin Holland should have easily have won this. And he didn't. Okay, this is one of those fights where I feel like the guy who lost should have easily have won, and the fact that he didn't win leaves me speechless, and I have nothing else to say on this fight. So moving on. God, this fight made me so happy. And this fight, I'm gonna puke. This fight alone is why the entire card is worth it. Paulo Costa is my favorite middleweight, and he has been my favorite middleweight since like the Adesanya fight. I've been very high on Paulo Costa, and I've always thought that Paulo Costa is championship material, whereas other people think he wasn't. And I thought he could have beaten. I picked him against both Whitaker and Strickland. He lost both of those fights, but I still think that Paulo Costa can be really good in this division. I did pick him against Roman Kopylov, so I'm very happy he proved me right. I scored this fight 3-0 30-27 for Paulo Costa, and I'm very happy that my favorite middleweight proved me right and won this fight because of had Paulo Costa lost on top of everything else this card has done for me, I probably wouldn't have even made this video because I would have just been so upset at how the card went down and the fact that I'm so drunk. I probably just would have jumped in my bed and went to sleep. Thank you, Paulo Borrachinha Costa, for winning this fight and schooling Roman Kopylov. You are good, Paulo Costa, regardless of what anybody else says to you. And now I'm going to actually check real quick at the entirety of my picks. Prize picks. I'm just going to check real quick. Where are my lineups? Past. Okay. Damn, all of my bets hit other than Kyler Phillips. I said that Dan Ige would land less than 50.5 significant strikes. It happened. I said that Roman Kopylov and Paulo Costa would land more than 137.5 significant strikes. It happened. But Kyler Phillips didn't even land a single takedown. The fucking idiot. And you know what's funny? That was the one leg I was a little worried about. And I'm going to show you this right here. I DM'd Kyler Phillips on Thursday. Come on, bro. Get more than 2 takedowns. My betting line needs you. And he didn't do it. So, Kyler Phillips, I don't know if I'll root for you heading forward because you really pissed me off. But It is what it is. Congratulations, Paulo Costa. You're an amazing fighter. I really like you, and you're my favorite middleweight on earth. And you beat Dricus du Plessis, and you beat Khamzat Chimaev because you have the best takedown defense in the division's history. And Khamzat Chimaev will gas out against you, and you will finish him. Moving on to the main event. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. I said that Max Holloway would finish Dustin Poirier round 4 TKO. Max Holloway almost got a TKO in round 1 when he dropped Dustin Poirier. And I was a little scared because I did not want Poirier to go out like that. But Poirier survived because he's a dog. They get into round 2, and Dustin Poirier drops Holloway in round 2 and almost knocks him out, and then almost fucking finishes him with a guillotine. Neither worked. They both got one knockdown in rounds 1 and round 2. And then rounds 3, 4, and 5. I scored round 3 for Holloway. I scored round 4 for Poirier. And then round 5 I scored for Holloway. So I had this round 3-2 Holloway. Holloway did win, which I did think. Holloway finally wins a trilogy in the UFC after losing a trilogy to Alexander Volkanovski. Good shit for Max Holloway here. Max Holloway looked really good, really fast. He looked really powerful. Poirier just looked like an older version of himself. I did cry a little bit, teary-eyed a little bit to Dustin Poirier's retirement package and speech and all that. And the fact that Max Holloway was very classy and didn't dwell on his win and let Dustin Poirier have his moments. I love that. This was a really good fight. I was very engaged from round 1 to round 5. What was the total strikes? 201 strikes for Holloway, 109 for Poirier. Oh god, I'm gonna puke after this video. I just want to say one thing before I reach the end of this video. Thank you, Dustin Poirier. Can we just say, everybody in the comments, spam thank you, Dustin Poirier, for the career that he has had. Dustin Poirier, in my opinion, is no doubt the greatest fighter in UFC history to never win a title, an undisputed title. Dustin Poirier's interim belt is the most legit interim belt in UFC history, and he has never won undisputed. But man, the fighters he had to fight: Khabib Nurmagomedov, Charles Oliveira, and Islam Makhachev, the three best fighters in terms of skill the UFC lightweight division has ever seen. So sad that Dustin Poirier had to go up against the 3 best lightweights of all time for his title fights. So sad for Poirier. Dustin Poirier, you are an amazing human being. You are an amazing fighter. And I feel so privileged to have seen the career that you have had over your career. Max Holloway, you are so good, and I'm so happy to see your career as I have seen it, and I'm very excited for your future. I think that Ilia Topuria has a harder time with lightweight Max Holloway than featherweight Max Holloway. We'll see if that rematch ever gets made. I do doubt it. I think that Paddy Pimblett will get the title fight next. Given how Arman and Gaethje are talking, seems like Arman and Gaethje are not willing to take a contender matchup for the title, whereas Paddy Pimblett is probably more willing to. So they'll probably reward him with a title fight, and they'll probably make Arman fight Gaethje. But thank you, Dustin Poirier, for your career and everything you've given us as a human being and as a fighter. I feel so privileged to watch your career since 2017, and Max Holloway, you too. Uh, what an amazing fight. An amazing performance from Max Holloway. That's all I got for this video. This is a bit different of a results video because I am drunk as hell. And I'm going to puke after this video because I've been holding it in, as disgusting as that is. Because I've been drinking ever since like the early prelims. And I've only been drinking whiskey, so I don't drink beer, I only drink whiskey. Because I drink to get fucked up. So, that's all I gotta say for this video. How long has this video been? 30 minutes. That's enough. Thank you, Dustin Poirier, and thank you guys for watching this video. Ugh, I'm out.